I'm going through from an RJ perspective what we look at as the makeup of the future creative team and look at some of the things we think they're going to be doing. I'm going to start to kick this off by showing you a couple of light-hearted videos. They may seem a little obscure, but they're very relevant, and I'll get to why afterwards. This is kind of startling, but at the same time it's not that surprising when you look at the way things are going. What it does hint to, though, is that as we're looking towards innovating for the future, we really need to come up with very simple things that fit into your life, but then stand out from the crowd. I'll look at a few other things that then sort of fit into this. Instagram has started to re-energize what was an aging form of photography. I think we're all very familiar with it. It's been a huge hit. Interestingly, just started by 2 people. It's now only just over a team of about 5 people. We've got 10 million users on one operating system, which is pretty phenomenal as opposed to for startups. Then we've got Dropbox, which is challenging the constant everyday nightmare, which is file transferring. Again, started by 2 people, but there's now 25 million users on this service. Then Flipboard is a third example, taking social feeds, RSS feeds, and packaging them in a new sort of experiential, elegant, and simple format that's more enjoyable for you to consume. Now 3.5 million users. These are all very strong examples of how looking at things you do every day can be enhanced, made more efficient, more experiential, and satisfying through technical innovation, serving businesses and people. These 3 previous examples are obviously done by entrepreneurs who are merging a very simple insight with a very sort of strong prowess for engineering. But at RGA we're getting asked more and more to tackle real business problems. They're not standard marketing briefs, we have a problem selling X. We need to re-energize our interest, our customers' interest in Y. So at RGA we're looking, just like the entrepreneurs and the startups, towards innovation as the answer to this. I'm sure a lot of you, if not all of you, are quite familiar with this experience. Nike Plus is very, very similar in many ways to a lot of the different examples we've shown here. Inventiveness is at the core, data is the motivator, design brings the idea to life, and communication is making you care about it. It's by looking at experiences like this, as well as some of those other startup ideas and everything we've talked about, that we start to define what the makeup is of the future creative team. Before we deconstruct and get into that, I'll just show you the current experience so you can see the type of thing that we're talking about.
Nike Plus, a global community of millions, a platform that reinvigorated running for Nike. But there is no finish line for Nike Plus. Now every type of runner can run with Plus, whether laced up with Nikes or not. Introducing the Nike Plus iPhone app. Simply download it and instantly become a member of the world's largest running club. Run indoors, or head outside, where Nike Plus uses GPS to track your progress. Let your Facebook friends know that you're going for a run.
Beginning workout. Distance, 0.8 miles. Distance, 1.8 miles.
Each time a Facebook friend likes or comments on your run, your ears ring with applause, helping you take it to the next level.
.4 miles beyond my goal.
Hello, you just ran 3 days in a row. That's good.
Their pace is measured and displayed on a color-coded map.
This is the DNA behind the teams that are involved in these kind of projects. Innovate, make, and communicate. It's very often for these few words to be used independently in different companies, but it's very rare to get a single team that can actually execute upon all 3 of these ideas. And for us, that brings the best of the entrepreneurs and the engineering qualities of Silicon Valley with the storytelling of Madison Avenue. From an innovation standpoint, this typically means for us looking at insights what people do every single day and using technology in a smart way to reinvigorate that, whether it's shopping, decorating, running, chatting, whatever it might be. When we're looking at the makeup of the team approaching and being charged with creating innovation, we're looking for some common characteristics in their ethos. We look towards risk tolerance. You're not going to create the next big thing if you're very adverse to making a mistake. We're open for people experimenting and pioneering. We're understanding that mistakes are going to happen, but through that you're going to learn and you're going to do better next time. Collaboration also. Collaboration is used a lot in our world. This is not collaboration as far as working well with the guy next to you. This is understanding that to work on some of these things, you need to have a very specific skill set. So you may be working with someone in Brazil, in Sweden, in Singapore, and you need to get used to working between sort of, across the globe, across countries, versus just within your four walls. Productive, not in the sense of making good use of your time and everything, that's just sort of expected. Productive in the sense that we really empower people to own their own ideas. When teams internally in our office are coming up and saying, I've got a roadblock, I've got a challenge, we consistently say back to them, what would you do if this was your business? So we really ask the employees, the guys behind us, to own this from the beginning to the end. And then purist. There's a lot of different terms you would use for this, and it's simply getting at the point of simplification. With the world, as you saw from Cisco's projection, just getting more and more complicated, we're looking at very simple insights that lead to very simple and compelling ideas that are executed in a very simple way. And then obviously experimental. With this whole sort of ethos, we have to combine that with this idea of a combined culture of curiosity. People understanding technologies as they come into the marketplace, or even things that are in the research labs and the difference in huge companies around the world. Whether it's speech recognition, new APIs into social services, gestures, whatever it might be, it's people who are constantly 24/7, always on, thinking around the possibilities. And this kind of curiosity culture spans across everyone working at RGA. From a make perspective, we treat it no differently than you would do if you were a startup with a new idea going to pitch it to the VC company. You've got to have a proof of concept, a prototype. So we try and get our ideas into code as soon as we possibly can. This notion of prototyping is instilled within everyone. If you can prototype and get to a proof of concept, it allows your idea to become a reality much sooner than it would do if it lived in the other culture which we have, this PowerPoint. It also allows us to iteratively refine and improve our ideas, to understand what it will take to actually get them into the marketplace. And also, most importantly, to be able to socialise them to our clients, to our peers, to the people within our broader agency, with the confidence that it can actually happen. And then last but not least, communication. Steve Jobs was a genius in many different things, but one of the things he did so well was communication. When he came back to Apple, it had a profound impact on their business. Every time he stood on stage to deliver a keynote, he was genius at launching this new technical innovation and packaging it in such a simple and compelling way that the masses were just gagging to get their hands on it. So we look at this and the example of 1,000 songs in your pocket as a perfect sort of like standout example of how communication is key to this. So what we look as far as the makeup of this, the DNA of this team, is to bring traditional storytellers into the mix. Writers who can take a very sort of technological idea and package it into such a simple and exciting way that's very compelling for your audience. So we're going to look at this whole makeup of this team as a unit of digital disruptors. It's people who are equally comfortable and able and ambitious to make, innovate and communicate. With these digital disruptors, we can start to look at the kind of makeup of this team. At the backbone of this team, we do look towards technologists. Technology is a creative discipline. They're at the beginning, from the inception of the brief through to the execution into the marketplace. These guys can take a simple idea, make it better, make it more real, make it more progressive. The coders is the omnipresence of a function within our world, and they're the guys who sort of really instill and sort of initiate this idea of the culture of curiosity. We typically, true to the whole sort of makeup of the entrepreneurs in Silicon Valley, it's parties of two who take these things to sell to VC companies. We look to create stealthy groups of dedicated individuals working very fast to maximise their creative output and experimentation. And we frequently combine a designer with a developer. Just simply because we start to look at the form and function of what we're working on very early, and we start to study behaviours which have become so sort of critical to touch-based interactions on all our phones. And that's one of the predominant activities we do. As ideas expand and as projects require, we start to bring in very specialist resources into the mix. It could be product designers, data visualizers, event directors, media planners, strategists, visual designers, brand designers, any number of specialisms, and we look to round out these teams, these guys, that constantly allow us to think different and to innovate, make, and communicate. To wrap up my portion of this, I'll give you an example of how a team of this nature worked with O2, initially briefed in the early months of 2010. It was towards creating a new business platform for O2 to service their own business, but also drive customer loyalty throughout the United Kingdom. It was a real story of how these guys got together and pushed what is a very new idea towards O2 that was launched in the summer of this year. Here's a little video to sort of articulate what the platform's about.
At O2, we make great experiences a priority. In 2007, we launched the O2 and gave our customers access to tickets 48 hours before general release. In 2009, we launched O2 Academy venues across the UK. But now, we're making priority even more rewarding. Giving you exclusive offers and experiences on your high street from some of the UK's favourite brands. And all at the touch of a button. This is Priority Moments, making our customers every day that little more special.
So while Groupon and other people are focusing on giving you some discounts on Botox and things like that in the UK marketplace, we're focused on providing you the opportunity, if you're O2, to dance on stage with Britney Spears, to exclusive bags and products like that at Harvey Nichols, to get some 2-for-1 shoes at Office. It's a new platform to drive O2's business and sort of bring them a completely new media channel to give them opportunities to expand their business. As part of the communication for this, we worked with VCCP to create a TV ad which effectively just demonstrated the product.
Priority Moments from O2 are here, giving you exclusive offers and experiences from top high street brands, all day and every day. From meals, books, and fashion accessories, to half-price cinema tickets, and all at the touch of a button. This is Priority Moments. It takes moments to 2020 to join.
So the team of the future for us is a unit of digital disruptors. They innovate, they make, and they communicate. Thank you very much.
Ten years ago, I read an article in the Fast Company about new titles. By giving people a chance to choose their own titles, they said it would increase creativity. And I really loved that article, and at that time I was marketing writer for Scandinavian Airlines, and I let my marketing team choose their own titles. I can say that it was really confusing, and I'm not sure if it was because of the titles, but it happened a lot during that time. It was a lot of creativity by just giving people a chance to figure out what was their really passion, and then really to do it, to live by their title. But what about today? If you should pick your own title, something that is really you, what should you pick, and how do you build your team? I think that I probably would choose the third one, Brand Engagement Director. I would really love to have something with engagement, with curiosity, so that would be my title, I think. But regarding to team, I would prefer to pick a team that is different for the different purpose. So really be looking at the purpose and the challenge and then pick the team. Still, many companies are really traditional when it comes to choosing their partners. They want an ad agency or a PR agency, but I think that they have the same challenge, the same need when they choose this partner. They want a creative team finding innovative solutions to a business problem. They want innovative solutions, and they need it for a business problem. So that's the same expectations that they have for all of these working with them. So what I would like to address with you here today is how can Berghs, as a school of communication, train future creatives to be problem solvers or to be change makers?
What if you had the power to change the world? What if a problem could be solved by asking the right questions instead of knowing all the answers? What if failure was the mother of excellence? What if companies could learn to take responsibility, learn to make a positive impact instead of doing damage control? What if advertising could too? What if a single campaign could change ideas, change people's possibilities, their dreams? What if social media could resolve conflicts and change politics? What if consumption was a good thing? What if Rome was built in one day? What if all it took was cooperation, communication? What if you had the power to change the world? Communication can change everything. Calling all changemakers.
Train change makers. And we have a vision, and the vision is to set an international standard for communication. And that's quite a heavy one. And as someone said today, that we don't know everything, we don't know the answers on that question, but we know that we want to set a standard and really look for new things all the time. This is why we believe in integration in all disciplines. We believe that everything communicates. And that's why we train both planners, we train creatives, we train visual people, interactive communication, and PR. And all of them need to know a little bit about all disciplines to be able both to understand it and to use it. We don't believe in single disciplines. So everything communicates is one thing that is really important. The other thing is to be close to the real world. That is one example of why we are here today and why people from Berghs are going to all different kinds of festivals. We would like to find people, interesting people, giving good speeches about things that is good for the future, really knowledge, but also inspiring people who can teach us in an inspiring way. So we hope that we'll find a lot of them during these 3 days. We hope that they will come to Stockholm and to teach. Because being really close with present cases, with companies coming from the real world is important for us. The third thing is that we believe in action-based learning. It's not about someone lecturing. It's about a team really giving all the experiences together. So that's why it's really important for us in the recruitment process to pick the one who really would love to communicate, to have the capacity to communicate, to build these action-based teams so they learn in the teams. But these 3 fundamentals is just the fundamentals for the future. It's not enough anymore. So we need to develop, we need to go further. This is from the last year's grad show. Every grad show has a theme that's supposed to be contemporary, and the students this year, they choose courage as theme. And I would like to read a little bit from the manifest, because I think it's so great. Playing safe is not playing at all. Taking risk is what takes you to places. But risk comes with our biggest fear. If the act of failing scares you, tell it to back off. And so what if you fail? Everyone fails. The question is, what would you do if you weren't afraid of it? Today is a hot topic in Sweden right now. We talk a lot about entrepreneurs, we talk about finding new business models, and the government is doing a lot for small and medium-sized companies to make it easy for them to build new companies. And I'm really proud that we have really good conditions for training change makers in Sweden right now. Just to give you some examples. The Swedes, or Sweden, was ranked as the most creative country in the world this year. And that was a study by Martin Prosperity Institute. It was a kind of creativity index, and they based it on numbers of patents sought per capita, how many creative jobs you have in a country. They looked at tolerance,